You hate it.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I just felt like doing something different.
Oh.
And it's quiet.
Yeah.
Kind of wanted to be quiet. I guess I screwed that up. My bad. Okay.
Should we just restart it?
Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm Meredith. Here with Alex. Ever the skeptic. The fun sponge. She sucks up all the fun. And Ivy, who's having a little nap. A cat nap. That was a hard eye roll. Okay.
You know what? I said I was in the mood to do a podcast, but I don't know if I am anymore.
Look, you just gotta go with it.
Okay.
You gotta let me do the intro. We're gonna banter. You know that feeling when you take your bra off after you've had it on for way too long?
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling that
Okay.
because I just did that. It's a
Free
good
the
feeling.
titties.
Freedom.
Yeah.
You know, mine are so large.
Yeah.
They get out of control. They're very.
Yeah. If you hear
constrained.
flopping around on the mic.
Yeah, it's my A minuses. Okay.
My sister used to make fun of me. She'd be like, A for Alex.
That's so rude.
Mm-hmm.
But are you an A?
Yeah. At one point I was a B,
I feel like you.
but now I think I'm back to an
I
A.
think you're like an A plus.
I think it's like, isn't it? I don't even wear real bras. I have some,
Yeah.
but they're like, it's like A, double A.
I think that's
Is there a
batteries.
triple A?
I think you're talking about batteries.
Wait, how do we not know this?
No, it goes A, B, C, D.
I know double
Double
D.
D.
Oh, okay.
There is no double. There's no double A. There's no triple A.
Is there a triple D? Is there an E?
I think there is actually.
Okay.
I think it goes up.
All right.
Nice one. It's so weird to put on like a regular bra now because there's like most of them are like kind of shaped. So there's all this like extra room.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So I'm flattered that you think that I have that much breast even as an A. But like it's so odd because like what are these things?
The best was when I was working and like Meredith and I had known each other for I don't know, what was it? Like probably close to 6 months
Yeah.
before. And I had never really worn any nice clothes because we never really like went out. Like we did, and it was like I would wear like a t-shirt, whatever.
Like jeans was
Yeah.
as dressed up as.
And then when I started working, I would wear like nice clothes, like dresses and like pencil skirts and like these nicer tops. And I would wear, like I walked out one day and I was wearing this like blue sweater, which like you can't wear a sports bra with it because it's like, it was kind of silky and it was too obviously like you were wearing a sports bra. So I have I put on a real bra and your face, you're like, wait.
What are those? Yeah, I actually remember that.
I
Yeah.
remember that because I was like already kind of self-conscious because I'm like, why do I have like two separate mounds
It's usually just one kind of like,
across?
yeah.
Like a blip.
Yeah. And instead of like two sort of
Yeah.
mountains. Well,
Yeah.
that's generous.
It like reminded me, is it like Austin Powers or something where they have their bra that like shoots?
Oh yeah. And the guns come out of the
Yeah.
like nipples and it's like
That's what I felt like.
Yeah, the spies or the robot women.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't have guns in your
No, I didn't.
Okay.
But yeah, so I just recently was cleaning out my drawer and I have like 3 bras. One of them doesn't have like straps or any. It's like a sticky bra, which
Yes.
I need for one of my like nicer outfits. So I kept that. And then I have 3 other ones. And I'm like, I don't wear these ever.
Yeah.
But I kept them because, you know, you never know.
You never know.
Just like I keep all of my like office wear, like my nice clothes. I'm like, you never know whether or not I'm going to have to go back to the office.
Yeah, or like give a presentation, kind of anything like that. It's not bad to keep it.
No.
You remember towards the end where like you had kind of given up because you knew you weren't going to stay at the law firm.
Yeah.
Until you were wearing like basically elevated Lululemon every day.
Yeah.
Kitten Ace.
I wore this Kitten Ace dress like as much as I possibly could without people noticing that I had it on as much as I could.
It's like a yoga dress.
Yeah. It was so comfy.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I can't remember.
I don't know. We were talking about boobs. But yeah, I love the sports bra
I was going to
life.
say like, I don't know about you guys, but Meredith and I keep like I'm like the type of person, I love throwing things out, like clearing out, like spring cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
I do that like every month because I'm like, what can I get rid of? And with COVID, it's like every night I'm looking in my closet. I'm like, man, I want to throw out all my clothes because I don't wear any of it. I haven't worn any of it for like 8 months.
Yeah, because we haven't gone anywhere in
I
8
know.
months.
So it's like, I know that I'm going to need those clothes eventually.
Yeah.
I will wear jeans again.
Yes.
But like right now, I'm like, why do I need all these clothes?
It's like I just bought new jeans and I'm like, why did I buy those? They're like literally they're gonna sit in the closet with the tags on them for probably another,
yeah,
I don't know, couple months.
until you run out of laundry.
Yeah,
Or run out of clothes. And
last week was getting dire.
Yeah, you were like, oh my God, I'm going to have to wear jeans.
I did. I wore jeans to dinner because I ran out of sweatpants and yoga pants. That happens when Alex is trying to spite me and doesn't do my laundry.
Yeah.
But,
all right, what are we talking about today?
well, I was going to tell everyone about our ski trip.
Oh, yeah.
So it was American Thanksgiving, 2 days ago? What's today? Saturday. And, you know, I'm American. And we usually go home for that one so we can freeze our asses off in North Carolina, which is ironic. But so instead we went skiing to
Sunshine.
which is
Near Banff?
in Banff. Yeah, it was good. I got new boots, so my shins are a little bit sore. I did them up too tight, and I was panicked because my like feet were going numb, and I was worried that the boots were too tight. Like they were just like too stiff or something, but I had just done them up too tight.
Well, we went up like, for those of you who know Sunshine Village, the main like chair, I guess if there is any main chair, it's Angel Express. And it's like comes right, you basically just go straight up the mountain face. And to go down, there's several different ways, but there's one like main way. And like that's the way I went. And I was kind of like, but I remember last time we went that way for the very first run, Meredith wasn't warmed up. So she got a little...
Well, because it's like a black run, and I'm not a super good skier, so I do need to warm up.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, you don't come, like, let's go down different ways. And I was like, well, maybe I'll just do the easy run with you. But then I was like, nah, and I like skied off to like the black run. And then I was waiting at the bottom for probably 15 minutes. And I guess Meredith basically had like, I'm convinced, ended up on a cross-country trail.
I mean, at one point it was like fairly flat. But it's because they had a lot of the like the blues that like dip down that same bowl. They're just easier. They had them closed off, I guess, because there wasn't enough snow. So you ended up having to go like all the way around on this like super long, dorky
Cat track.
green. I think it's actually called the Green Run.
Oh, yeah.
But it just ends up being like super flat. It took me forever. And also because it took me so long and I had my boots up too tight, I was just, my legs were like, my calves and my feet were just crushed at the end of that. But it was good. Other than that.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. So that was how we did Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And we have an advent calendar that we're doing with Tactic, which we're really excited about. And also excited that it seems like a lot of people are into it so far. We're only 2 days into it. So the first day was what?
The first day, so it's each day you have to do a task. It started on Friday, which was the day after Thanksgiving, and it's going to run until the 24th of December, so the day before Christmas. And basically, each day you're going to do one task, and we've obviously chosen the task per day. And they vary.
Was there any like rhyme or reason to the
No.
tasks? Yeah, they're pretty.
There's a couple at the end that are a little bit harder, like we've like what do you call them, stacked tasks. So it's like, okay, you've done this, and now do this.
Yeah.
Do all three, which is kind of fun because really that's how you're supposed to build habits. Kind of stack them onto other already established habits.
So what was the first day?
The first day was drink 1 big glass of water immediately after you wake up.
And we already do that because we do the lemon juice, like water, sea salt thing every morning.
Yeah.
So that counts. But I couldn't believe the number of like, we got up, the number of people who had already tagged us like drinking water. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then today was day 2.
Day 2 was include a vegetable at breakfast, which I wasn't stoked on because I used to eat chicken sausage, rice, and broccoli slaw every single morning for breakfast. but I've switched to oatmeal. I used to not be able to eat oatmeal, like upset my stomach. So I had to find different oatmeals. Finally found one that I like, so I can eat like a big ass bowl of oatmeal. Put blueberries, because I'm like, fruit's good.
Yes.
Blueberries in it. So today I was kind of like, I don't want to have like the whole like broccoli slaw, because I still want my oatmeal. So I ended up just having a carrot.
Which you put in the oatmeal.
Yeah. And a lot of people did that. But
Yeah.
it is an easy way to like, I always tell like clients who struggle to eat vegetables, like throw some like baby carrots on the side of your meal, throw some spinach on. Like you don't have to go to great lengths to add a serving of vegetables.
I think like breakfast, people have this like preconceived notion of what breakfast is supposed to be, and it's supposed to have like, you know, like stuff with jam and like pastries and muffins, and it's supposed to be kind of like on the sweeter side. I don't know why. You know, it tends to be light, you know, light protein, like one egg, some bacon, and like bacon is more fat than protein anyways. So it tends to be a pretty unbalanced meal. And it's like, then you think about what your mom has for breakfast, which is like sweet potato and ground beef, which is the most anti-breakfast of all time. And then like, you know, we're somewhere in the middle. There was a long time there where I would do like scrambled eggs with just like steamed broccoli, toast with butter and jam. And that was like, you get a little breakfast, a little veggie. So that's one of those things you just have to do. And then you realize like, oh, that's fine. I don't actually need a muffin for breakfast to make me feel like I've eaten breakfast. You actually feel better when you eat real food at breakfast.
Yeah. We have like one of my clients is doing the challenge, which is great. A lot of our clients are actually. And she posted a picture of her vegetable with her breakfast, and it was carrots like sliced with a donut. And I was like, okay.
I mean, like, yes, that does count.
It does count.
And if you have a donut, maybe, yeah, have a carrot.
Yeah. But it is easier to incorporate vegetables with things like eggs and a lean protein.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. It's like all of these little tasks are things that we do most of them on a daily basis, and we try to get our clients to do them on a daily basis, like slowly incorporate them and make them habits.
Yeah. Like they're simple. I'm going to pick a random one.
But like having like one daily task per day and trying out a variety of them over the course of 30 days is a great way to be like, you know what? I really liked having that glass of water first thing. I'm going to keep doing that every day.
Yeah. And then it builds. And so now all of a sudden every day you're having a glass of water, you're having a vegetable with breakfast, you're getting in bed with like to allow for 8 hours of sleep because you're like, oh, I like that. I like that worked for me. And they're simple, right? So like example, December 5th, snack on a piece of fruit.
Yeah.
What's difficult about that?
Like for me, if I'm not thinking about it, I would prefer to have a Rice Krispie square over an apple. But like I'm health conscious and I'm like, okay, I need to get a certain number of fruits and vegetables. So I'll opt for the apple on most days.
Yeah.
Or like a banana or something. I'm more of a peanut butter banana person.
But like what allows you to make that decision?
Having apples like available.
Yeah. Like not having to go like get in your car, go to the store, get an apple. Like
I thought that was a trick question.
No, that was me asking you.
Yeah.
It's not a trick question.
Yeah. Like when you go to the grocery store, opt for snacks that are whole foods rather than, you know, the ones that are, I mean, an apple is just as easy to throw in a backpack as like, a Rice Krispie square.
I mean, but like, then they get bruised.
I know, but okay. So I used to really like bananas like halfway through my soccer games.
Did you have a banana holder?
Do you know how much fun I got made for that? I don't know if that sentence worked.
How much you got made fun of for that? Yeah. I mean,
like those aren't the most like.
No, it looks like you have a dildo in your backpack. It's like phallic.
But they do the trick.
Oh, I'm sure.
They really do the trick.
Yes, I know.
And it's better that than having a bruised banana.
It's just like banana holders remind me of all that random crap that you see on like QVC.
Yeah.
Like egg poachers.
You know what I used to have, which were great, was like this like salad Tupperware container. Mm-hmm. And it was just a regular Tupperware container, but on the cap, it had a little area where you could hold salad dressing.
Oh.
And then what you would do is like on the top, when you were ready to eat it, you would press down and it would release the salad dressing into the Tupperware container. And then you would shake it up.
Were you the one who had to wash that container? Or
I
did
think my
your
mom
mom wash? You see, if you had it now, there's no way you'd use it because you'd realize
I
like
do have it and I never use it.
the top is actually impossible to
Yeah.
wash because you would then have to like press it down, hold it,
Yeah.
wash it. Yeah, I mean those things work great, and when you don't have to be the one that cleans them.
But anyways, with that being said, I mean, even dried fruit, that's totally easy.
Yeah.
You just like, I always have dates because I'm like, dates are easy. They're not like the most delicious thing in the world.
What is like, in your opinion, the best and the worst dried fruit?
I mean, like dried mangoes are delicious. I don't eat them because they're like dangerous.
They're so sweet they make my teeth hurt.
Yeah, especially when they're like coated in sugar. I'm not a huge fan of like the hardened bananas.
I was about to say banana chips have to take the cake for
like
being
one.
like the worst.
I can have like one or two, and then I'm like, okay, we're done here.
Ugh.
I also don't
God.
like apricots very much.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of like dried apple.
Dried apple with like cinnamon is okay.
That's all
They
right.
sell those at the farmer's market.
I really like prunes. Those are probably my favorite one.
I like raisins.
Yeah. So this kind of goes to the point where like all of this stuff on the calendar and like in general, the stuff that we ask people to do is simple. Like there's nothing difficult or inherently hard about snacking on a piece of fruit, reading for 5 minutes, drinking 100 ounces of water during the day.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's like inherently difficult about that. But like on a normal basis, like if, we remove these tasks from this Advent calendar, like a lot of people do struggle with that stuff. So the question is like, why is that?
Yeah. I mean, it's the age old question of like, how come people know that exercise is good, eating healthy is good for them. I don't know, drinking water, all of the things like getting 8 hours of sleep is really good for their health. Yet so few people do it. Like if I think it's just the answer to that question is knowledge isn't enough. And so you kind of have to, even though the tasks are simple for people, they're not easy. They're not. Like if it was, then if they were, people would be doing them no problem. So
I think they become difficult because they're different.
They're different and they don't fit into their life. Like their life, you need to change. Like you always say, like people need to have systems. People like you need to, and then another thing that we've seen, like, okay, we need you to work out. Like we get clients who've never worked, like don't work out. So it's like, hey, we need you to work out. And they'll go from like 0 to like, yeah, I'm training for a marathon. Like that is not good. Like after a week, you're going to be exhausted and probably injured.
Yeah.
Like you need to start out slow, which is why for some of these plans, it's like, or tasks, it's like, all right, we're going to have you doing 5 minutes of reading. Because if you read for 5 minutes each day for a week, the next week you can go, okay, I'm going to do 10 minutes. That was totally doable. I'm going to go for 15. Maybe eventually you're up to an hour. You've made room for an hour in your day.
Yeah.
But if you start out with an hour every day, then there's just, I know I wouldn't be able to manage that right off the bat because it just doesn't, I haven't like fit it into my life yet. I haven't managed the rest of my time to accommodate it.
How much of it do you think boils down to what people value? Okay, I'll give you an example.
That's a hard question.
Yeah. So I can think of, like, I was sitting here trying to think of like things that exist in my life that I have a hard time implementing. Like it's easy for me to implement like working out because I value that. I value how I feel and how I look as a result of that. Same thing for eating like healthy, tracking macros, that type of thing, sleeping 8 hours, drinking water. But I have this like, that SOAS thing that I bought?
Yeah.
I have this like, cause I have horrible back pain a lot of the time just from sitting, I think. And so I'm like, okay, I have to figure out something I can do to like fix this. So I bought this thing. It's called the So Right. And it sits on the floor and it's got these two like arms that stick up. It's kind of a devilish looking device. And the idea is that you like, yeah, you lay on that, you release your psoas, which is the reason why a lot of people have back pain and probably contributes to mine. But like, why don't I use that thing? It sits on the floor in the living room and I don't use it. And I think like, it's not that I don't have time. I do have time to use it. And then I'm like, okay, it's like partially I don't have a system. Like I don't have a schedule. I've never even tried like doing it for 1 minute a day. But then it's like, do I also not value that? So it's like, it's a combination, and that's always
For sure.
I think to myself, like, you don't have this goal of not having back pain, but do I have this goal of not having back pain? Because I'm obviously not.
I think you can have the goal. It's just like, what are you willing to do for it?
Yeah, exactly. So I think, for me, it's probably more of a systems issue, but I do believe some people set goals when they're still kind of, they set a goal, but they're actually still more in the discovery phase of goal setting, where they're trying to decide like what it is they want to do. And so they just knee jerk and they think, I want to do this. And then, in the process of doing the thing, they realize like maybe that particular thing or goal doesn't necessarily line up with where their values are, and that's okay. But people will just struggle through that phase to find, okay, what is the happy medium? What is the goal? How does this play out long term?
Yeah. I actually read somewhere, it's like ambivalence is what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically simultaneously wanting and not wanting something, or wanting two incompatible things at the same time. And like, that's essentially, it's human nature. It's like, we want a ton of different things. Like, I want a ton of free time, but I also want a ton of money. It's like, those two things don't really go hand in hand.
People want 6-pack abs, but they want a social life. It's like, you can't have it.
It's really hard. And so it's like, how do you get people to kind of go down one path?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you, and so you have to do a lot of change talk. And that's like, all right. Like that book, Motivational Interviewing, talks a lot about this.
Yeah.
And you talk about how, okay, what are your goals? And you sit down with someone and you say, what are you willing to do for them?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like, oh, anything. It's like, no, we need to like nail this stuff down. And it's like, are you willing to do on a Tuesday this? Like, you really have to start scheduling things in.
It'd be
and
very
like building
specific.
and taking the time to like really make an effort to make these habits stick.
Yeah. And build a system. Like, I think that's like the real limiting factor for a lot of people, whether it's with nutrition or exercise or kind of just time management in general, is like, they don't have a system, period. Like people wake up during the day, and like, you can be a very successful human being and exist without good systems. Like, that's the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize, is you can have a lot of success in life. You can be a business owner. You can do very well at your job. But you can be one of those people who just wakes up in the morning and, flies by the seat of your pants. And that's fine. That's fine. It works. But as soon as you try to introduce something that's different than what you're currently doing, it's extraordinarily difficult to implement.
I think people who don't have systems, they can be successful in one area of their life.
Correct.
They cannot be successful in multiple areas of their life.
Well, as soon as
like,
you start...
think about people, like, and everyone has this friend who's amazing. Like, I was talking to one of my clients the other day, and she was like, how are there those people who can do everything? It's like, they're like a doctor, and they have kids, and they eat healthy and are able to track their food. Like,
and they work out every day.
And they work out every day, and they look great, and they're happy, and they have a great relationship. And like, it's like, but how? How?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that? Like, or, you hear about these athletes, like triathletes, who are training 5 hours a day, but they're like business owner, like a CEO of something, and they've got like 5 kids, and you're just, like, where does that?
It's like, the guy that won the Barkley marathons, which is like the 5 marathons in however many hours. It's literally 4 completion. Just get it done. He's, like, he holds the record in it, but he's also like a physicist or some sort of like very professional engineer. And
like, those people aren't flying by the seat of their pants.
No, they're not. And so, I guess you can say like, you can achieve a certain level of success, but really to break through to the next level of whatever it is you're trying to do, like, there has to be systems. So to answer your question about, the doctors, the lawyers, the high achievers out there who also manage to, work out, eat healthy, have kids that are in sports, that kind of thing, which is very, very difficult to manage. They have a system for everything.
Mm-hmm.
They have a system for what they eat. They have a system for when they eat. They have a system for when they drop their kids off. They have a schedule for their, you know, their workouts. Everything is system. And so it's automated. And the more you can automate and the more, you know, the less you have to think about in the moment, the fewer decisions that you can make during the day, the more time you free up to do the things that you either have to do or you want to do. But as soon as you start like clogging up the system with having to make decisions in the moment, like you can easily spend 30, 45 minutes, an hour trying to decide, what do I want for lunch? What do I want to wear? Hey kids, what do you want for lunch? You know, that kind of thing. And all of a sudden that hour that you had to either meal prep or work out is gone. And the worst part is you don't even realize that it was there to begin with. Mm-hmm. And that's important, because like when you're like, people who don't have systems they can't objectively a lot of times look at their day and understand that there's tons of space and tons of room in there until you start actually like take a big step back and evaluate how much time do you spend doing completely unnecessary tasks every single day.
I mean, one example, I usually make my lunch every day, and I'm at home most days. But there are days where I'm like, okay, we got to go to the gym over lunchtime. Mm-hmm. And I almost always pack my lunch. And there are restaurants or like places that I can grab chicken and rice, like Mexican places or like fast food, Edo, which is like chicken and rice. But the amount of time it takes, even if it's 10 minutes from the gym, 5 minutes from the gym, to get there, get out of my car, wait for the food, get back in my car, drive to the gym, that's like at least 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I've done that before, and I'm like, that was a huge waste of time. And I have people who eat out every single day because they don't have time to meal prep. And I know they're getting in their car and driving to a restaurant and either eating there or like.
And it's like, so that's 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Like, does it take you 2.5 hours to meal prep? Probably not. It shouldn't if you're good at it. But it takes you 2.5 hours collectively during the week minimum to go like get lunch. And that's
and
if
you're spending more money.
Yeah.
And it's not as healthy.
Yeah. So that's a really good example of like one system that exists.
Yeah.
You could make the same argument for, you know, waking up and then deciding what you're going to wear, waking up and then deciding what you're going to have for breakfast. And then if you have kids and that same exact scenario plays out, not for one person, but for maybe 3 people. Like,
yeah. Like, of course you're not going to have time to track your food.
It makes total sense.
Yeah.
And that's not to say like you have to, you 100% have to meal prep and track your food to be successful. You don't. But there's a lot of value in it for people who have goals, because it's not, you don't have the baseline education to even understand what it is you need to be eating. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like, you know, just because things are simple doesn't make them easy.
Yeah.
It's actually quite difficult to implement like simple systems at first, but it's like once you have it, you have it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, your mom is a good example. Like, you did every sport that there was under the sun, and your mom had a career and managed. Yeah.
She was crazy, but
like, would she have been without the...
Yeah. She knows it.
Yeah.
She's probably, yeah.
She's going to hear this and be like, what? No, she's gonna be like, yeah, no, that's true. So that's like a big struggle that I see. And we have the benefit of working with, you know, so many people over time that we kind of see these patterns. And the system is what breaks most often, because you can make meal prep work. Like if you don't have a system, you can eat healthy, you can exercise for a week, 2 weeks. Like, you can do it, but it's like, you know, I'm just sitting there watching. I'm like, it's coming. There's going to be a week where it breaks, and then it breaks. And then there's the conversation, which is, okay, what happened? And it's like, wow, I was so busy, you know, this and that, my kids, this. And it's like, okay, like you see what's going on here. And it's not really necessarily my job or my right to tell people how to live their lives, but we can certainly point out some
Yeah, and
inefficiencies.
a lot of people usually, that's why they hire us, is to help them, and it's help direct their energy in a way that's, and keep them accountable to these small tasks. Like, imagine you had somebody who was checking in on you every couple of days and was like, hey Meredith, did you use your psoas last night? Like, you would probably do it.
Like, yeah. Or I would feel bad, like me, like, no, I sat on the couch and watched The Crown.
But it was right there. I looked at it.
I know.
I'll be your accountability partner.
Thank you.
I did stretch that one day, so.
You're an expert.
But, oh crap. What was I saying?
I don't know. There are certain things, like I'm just looking at this calendar and trying to find one that's a little bit less simple. So,
oh yeah. So what I was saying was, we talk about how you can have success if you have systems. So I guess the question becomes, how do you implement systems? And we've kind of glazed over that, but it's to implement little things that are you can accommodate and then build on those.
Do you think there is value in people meal prepping even when they're at home?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
I think a lot of people don't.
Saves so much time.
Yeah. I mean, like we don't, but we have essentially batch cooked food.
Yeah, which is basically, we don't pre-package each meal.
Yeah.
But like it takes me 5 minutes to make my lunch because it's really just getting the food out of the fridge, putting it in a plate and heating it up.
Yeah.
Like the odd time I have to cook ground beef, and we cook enough for a few days.
And the cool thing about systems is once you have them and you you use them for such a long time, you can sort of let your foot off the gas in other areas. Like it's, people talk a lot about intuitive eating, and you can't intuitive eat if you don't even understand, what it is that you need to be eating. Like most people have been intuitively eating their whole lives, which is the reason why they need nutrition help.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you use a system, understand what you need to eat that same thing or similar thing on a similar schedule every single day for, let's see, how long have I been doing this? 7 years. And now I don't have to weigh and measure all of my food all the time. And I don't feel bad about that because I understand what it is I'm eating.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's why I like systems. But, and then the flip side of that is things that are very difficult aren't necessarily impossible to do. And so, like, it's the entire spectrum, right? So we talk about, like your elimination diet, for example. When did you do that?
I did that 2015.
Mm-hmm.
The fall of 2015.
And what did that entail?
Basically, I had so many digestive issues.
So, like, what do you mean by that?
Like, okay, I thought it was normal to eat food and your stomach, like, I thought digestion was like your stomach gurgling and like having gas and bloating and basically every time I ate a meal.
Bubble guts.
Yeah. And like I would, it was just, yeah, basically I just wasn't. And then, so I saw a naturopath and I went on like a very extreme elimination diet. That was like the best way to figure out how to like determine what foods were causing these issues. Cause I basically just ate whatever. I wasn't eating a lot because like eating was not good for me. Like it was an uncomfortable experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so the elimination diet was like, I can't even remember the exact number of days, but I think it starts out with 13 days of cutting what seems like everything out of your diet. You cannot eat out. Like you cannot eat out because you're restricted to meat, not pork. Pork wasn't allowed, but you couldn't have any processed meat. So you couldn't have deli meat. You couldn't have, so you could, like, it was like plain chicken, plain beef. And they say like, try to get like organic stuff, the stuff that just basically like you want as plain as possible.
Yeah.
You couldn't have any grains. You couldn't have like rice, oatmeal, none of that. You could have fruits and vegetables, but you couldn't have certain fruits. You can't have like citrus fruit. You couldn't have red peppers, any sort of like nightshade vegetables. You couldn't have regular potatoes. You could have sweet potatoes. You were supposed to avoid, like you could have honey in small amounts, but you're supposed to avoid like a lot of excess sugar. Couldn't have coffee. No caffeine. So a lot of tea was off limits.
On a scale of like 0 to 10, 0 being very easy, 10 being extremely difficult, where would you put that diet?
I would say, that was tough. Because I was so grain heavy.
Yeah.
So to get enough food, I basically had to revamp my entire diet. I would say that was like a 9.
Yeah. So
And
super difficult.
like to the point where on the last day, so after you do the 13 days of like complete like reset, you start introducing foods, and then you have to take notes and stuff each day on how that food made you feel. So you would have chocolate one day. I think it was the first thing you introduced was quinoa. And you had that one day, and then you had to wait 2 days to see if there were any residual effects from it. If not, you could keep it in your diet.
Yeah.
So there were certain foods where you did that, you could keep them. And then there was the third phase was like things like you would have chocolate, and you would test chocolate, wait 2 days, and then not have chocolate again. Test coffee. It was like,
Yeah.
it took like 3 months.
Yeah.
But I remember the night before I was able to have quinoa, I dreamt of quinoa because you're so,
Yeah. Like looking forward to it.
you couldn't have like spices and stuff because red pepper was off.
Mm-hmm.
But that was, yeah, like so simple. It's really so simple, but it was not easy. Not easy. You have to be on top of your meals.
Mm-hmm. And then like, so questions like why would you do that if it was so difficult to do?
I mean, that whole experience enhanced my life so much more because I was able to cut a bunch of foods out, and now I feel so much better.
So it was kind of a requirement. Like you did it because you had to.
Yeah.
Because you valued the way that you were going to feel after you were done.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's important.
Yeah.
And it speaks to like what's at the root of doing something that, even though it's simple, is difficult to stick to and stick with, even for a relatively short period of time. Like even if it takes 3 months start to finish, that's pretty short compared to, your whole life.
Yeah.
So,
and you could argue the same thing for people who want to lose weight. Losing weight is simple. You just eat less. I mean,
for most people, yeah.
Yeah, you just eat less food. Mm-hmm. Eat less food than you need. Like, that varies. But that's actually so simple. Mm-hmm. Is it easy? No, because not only is it hard to eat less food because your body is fighting against you, but it's also hard because you have to like plan. Mm-hmm. Like you have to know what's in the food you're eating, because you can't look at a hamburger and be like, oh yeah, that's like 1,500 calories. A lot of people are like, it's just some cheese and some meat and a bun.
What's so bad about that?
Yeah, but like you don't know that it's been like drenched in oil, or the French fries beside it are 700 calories. Like you need to learn all that stuff.
Yeah.
And make sure you're eating at a certain but the reward for doing something that's simple but difficult is so big. And that's, losing 40 pounds, which is life-changing for a lot of people.
Or for you, not shitting your pants every time you eat.
Seriously, not having gas at the gym, amazing. Do you know how uncomfortable it is to sit in a library for multiple hours in a day because you're studying for exams and having to hold a fart in for that long?
Yeah.
That hurts.
I know. You remember that time I ate grapes before I realized that I couldn't eat grapes anymore?
That was my life, though.
I know. And I was like, I'm going to die. Like, I don't know what's going on with my stomach, but like, just put me down.
Yeah. It was so bad.
Yeah.
I remember I was talking to my mom one day. I'm like, does your stomach like gurgle after you eat dinner? And she was like, no. I'm like, oh.
Like never? No.
Yeah. Huh. And like there is the odd time where I get that. And I'm like, dang, I dealt with that every single day.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think what causes that for me. There's not a lot. I'm kind of like a goat.
Yeah.
I can just eat whatever as long as it's not grapes.
But I think it's important. I mean, that kind of goes to say it's important to make sure that whatever you are trying to implement, you kind of assess the easy and the difficulty of the
I liked difficultness.
Easiness and difficultness of the task, and make sure that it is going to work long term.
Or at least sort of like adjust your expectations for it. Like, yeah, this looks easy on paper. Sure, I can do that. But then like look at how does it fit into your life? And if it doesn't yet, then understand there's going to be a period of difficulty.
Yeah.
And don't get frustrated with the fact like, oh, this is so easy. Why can't I do it? Realize it actually has nothing to do with the task. It doesn't.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be something as simple as, yeah, read 5 minutes a day or put your phone away for 10 minutes before bed. It doesn't matter that it is seemingly very simple. The difficulty lies in like the implementation and the friction that it's going to cause in your current routines, which are just different. They don't allow for new behaviors easily. And that's the trick with habit change. Behavior change is you have to do it, deal with the period of adjustment and like discomfort, and keep doing it until it's no longer uncomfortable to do. Mm-hmm. And then it's part of your system.
And if you miss a day, don't miss 2 days. Never miss twice.
Yep.
So that's never miss twice. You'll never. It will be forever.
Shoot for the stars.
But
shoot
actually,
for the moon.
Like you'll never.
What's that saying?
I don't know.
Shoot for the moon. If you miss, you'll land among the stars, which is actually incorrect. Like, the moon is way closer to our planet than the stars are. I just thought about that saying. That's so stupid. Anyways, the beauty of the Advent calendar, if you aren't doing it, you should do it. Hint, hint. You can find that link on our Instagram.
Yeah, we're giving away sweet prizes too for
we
participants.
Are at the end. It's going to be awesome.
I was actually thinking this in bed last night. Sorry to interrupt you, but we should have done, this would have been way harder, but like the 12 days of Christmas.
Oh, I thought about this.
And then you just like, it's on the first day, you do this. On the second day, you do this and this. Yeah. And then on the 12th day, like that would be true habit stacking.
I know.
Although by the end, people would be like, all
okay,
right, 12
enough.
tasks.
Be like, just dizzy with, this is bullshit.
Okay, get up and drink 1 glass of water. And then it would be like,
and
drink
then
one
do
glass
5
of water.
push-ups.
Drink 1 glass of water, have a vegetable. Drink 1 glass of water, have a vegetable, and work out. But like, those are all things you should be doing.
Drink 1 glass of water, have a vegetable, work out, read for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Drink 1 glass of water, have a vegetable, work out, read for 5 minutes, and put 2-3 things on your to-do list. Like, it's a lot, but it's really like something that,
it's nesting behavior.
to be honest, I do every day.
Yeah.
Not to toot my own horn here.
It's okay.
But like, it's, if you have those, like if it becomes routine and habit, then it's your life. It's your morning routine.
Well, doing one thing that's good makes you want to do other things that are good. So it's nested sort of behavior.
Yeah.
Which is a term I just made up. What was I going to say? Oh, right. If people aren't doing the calendar, they should. And kind of the beauty of this stuff is that it is so simple. And like, not terribly difficult to implement. I'm trying to look and see what my favorite day is going to be.
Who are you going to phone on December 8th?
I know, I was just looking at December 8th, phone a friend. I can't do my sister, can I?
No, you always call your sister.
Okay. Maybe I'll call Lindsay. Not Lindsay Martin. Oh, I could call Lindsay Martin. She would be like,
she's probably like me. She gets like phone phobia.
You have to text before you call her. That's like the ultimate millennial move. It's like, hey, I'm going to call you. Is that okay? And then what if it's not? And you're like, no.
I used to love, like, parents always used to do this. They would go to voicemail, and you like, I can see that my mom's called, but it's like, hey, it's mom. Give me a call back.
My dad still does that. I'm like, you realize I have to check that voicemail, right? Like, I have to like listen to it.
You have to type in your password, listen to the woman, like, be like, you have 1 new message.
Wait, that's how you dial into your voicemail?
To listen to your message, press 1.
Is that how they do voicemail here still?
That's how I have it.
That is archaic.
Yeah, and then you have to press 1.
Look.
And then at the end, it's like, to save this message, press 2. To delete this message, press 1.
That is just bullshit. Look, I go to my phone, and then I go to voicemail, and then I'm like, oh, a
you
voicemail.
Know what?
I can click on it, and then without even, I can just be like, delete, get out of here.
I wonder if I have that on my phone.
I'm actually certain that you do. You just haven't set it up.
Anyway,
that's how
I do mine.
It transcribes it, so I don't even have to listen to it. Hi Meredith, it's Alicia from Midtown Dental. I'm calling to confirm.
That's nice.
It's nice, right?
So which one's your favorite?
I don't know. Probably stretching for 10 minutes because that's going to be so painful for both of us.
Yeah.
who don't stretch. That's a long time to stretch for people who don't stretch. But I think they're all good. They're all doable. I mean, I do most of them already, so it'll be easy. I think the stretching will be hard for Ivy.
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't catch that? You just agreed with me?
She does down dog sometimes.
She does.
But yeah, no, I think it'll be fun. So join in.
Yeah, if you're not doing it, make sure you join in at least by the last 12 days so you
Yeah.
can get in on the giveaways.
Yeah.
Which are sweet. I'm excited for them. Yeah, other than that, not much else going on here.
Yeah, that was just a lot of kind of us chatting and rambling about habits and stacking
Behaviors.
but hopefully you pulled out some helpful tidbits. And yeah, let us know if you have any questions or concerns.
And if you're wearing a bra, take it off
Yeah.
for 5 minutes. We should have put that on the calendar. Take your bra off for 5 minutes. Or like the whole day.
One time, my friend Sandra was on the airplane, and the woman beside her took her bra off while in her seat.
That's actually kind of impressive. Like just like behind the back.
Yeah.
Just, like, she pulled it out.
Yeah, she pulled it out from under her shirt.
I definitely, like back when I used to wear regular bras, used to like unhook them sometimes.
And just be sitting with your bra unhooked?
Yeah.
How tight were your bras?
Like I said, I have large tits.
Yeah.
I hate that word. I can't believe I just said that word.
That was harsh.
It's such an aggressive
It
word.
was.
Yeah. Titties is a little better.
Yeah, softer.
Mm-hmm.
More playful.
Teats. When we're talking about Ivy.
Yeah, or when you're like bent over and you don't have a bra on.
They're like hanging down. Okay. This is
Yeah, we
getting
should
out
go.
of control. Okay. Thank you for listening. We hope that you had a great Thanksgiving. Follow us. If you don't already, get in on the Advent calendar. If you can't find it, don't know where it is, just send one of us a message and we'll get you set up. Talk to you later.